They promote narratives, and 700. I mean, however much money was made, whatever the number is that these guys made off of these products, like this is all of it is fucking crazy. There's the revolving door between the CDC and the FDA and then these pharmaceutical drug companies. So the people that make the regulations then go on to have these cushy jobs with the pharmaceutical drug corporations. Like, oh, nothing to see here. It's like it's open. It's right out in the open.
Right.
And when he talks about all that stuff in his book, you're just like, what the fuck, man? If this wasn't true, he would be sued.
Yeah. But
so it seems to be true.
Yeah.
And it's a scary thing because people don't want to talk about it because they don't want to be attacked. You know, they don't want to be called an anti-vaxxer. That's a big one. Anti-vaxxer. That's a big one. Anti-vaxxer. That's a big one.
America.
Well, the final days of the campaign can get a little salty.
The final days of the campaign can get a little salty.
The final days of the campaign can get a little salty.
The final days of the campaign can get a little salty.
As you probably noticed, the final days of the campaign have been, well, you might call them just a little salty.
Some networks such as CNN even went so far to just simply create the news giving the impression that war was inevitable when in fact it was completely contrived.
It was almost exactly 2 hours ago when the sirens went off here in Saudi Arabia. Where we are in eastern Saudi Arabia, there was no problem. However, there was an intercept elsewhere near the capital city, Riyadh. We've got some videotape of that you can take a look at right now. Reported airburst that may have been an intercept of an incoming Scud missile. We're really not sure. All we know is that the air raid sirens have gone off, and we've heard the outgoing roar of at least one Patriot missile. We've heard some sort of airburst. We can't tell where it was from where we are right now. We're waiting to see what's happening. As you can hear, the air raid sirens are still going off around us. Can't see much of anything, and frankly, this is what we can show you on television right now because of military restrictions from both the Saudis and the U.S.
CD, if you need to take cover, I notice that you've got your gas mask in your hands. If you need to put it on, please do so. If you need to take cover, please do so. If you are able...
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Je suis un journaliste américain. Geopolitics by Dan Quayle. Boy, did I almost look stupid. Charles Jaco, CNN, reporting live from Saudi Arabia. Charles Jaco, CNN, reporting live from Saudi Arabia. From Saudi Arabia. From Saudi Arabia.
Let me say hi. Sounds like William Randolph Hearst when he said, "You furnish the pictures, and I'll furnish the war." Also from CNN, Amber Lyon, she recently told the world that she was ordered to delete unfriendly stories adverse to the Obama administration and to construct stories in specific manners while working for the left-wing network.
What's being told here is the way that these networks want to spin the truth, and that's leading us into another potential conflict with Iran.
She said, CNN is paid by foreign and the U.S. government for reporting on some events and not reporting on others.
And after some investigation, we found out that CNN International is actually making money from the Bahrain regime. They are a customer of Bahrain. Bahrain is paying CNN International to create content that shows Bahrain in a favorable light.
She goes on, the Obama administration pays for CNN's content.
And after I came forward the first time about the Bahrain situation, my agent was called by someone representing the executives at CNN, and my agent was told that if I continued to talk, my severance and health insurance would be pulled. Well, now that Obama is subpoenaing journalists to reveal those sources and essentially saying that they're criminals for not doing so, he has criminalized the profession of journalism. I saw the direct effect of Obama's actions at CNN. There were investigations that I wasn't allowed to do because they were too high of a risk of being subpoenaed.
And like Amber Lyon, a top German journalist and editor, Dr. Udo Ulfkat,
at the Sons
has just
of Liberty,
gone public
we
with
are
some
in the
shocking
trenches
admissions.
every day,
He
doing what it takes to protect.
One of you said to me recently, we shouldn't rock the boat. gentlemen, I want to tell you that I am a boat rocker.
Hello, friends, as well as a few enemies, scoffers, atheists, skeptics, lunatics, weirdos, and assorted bad guys, and of course, all of you good guys and girls out there. Welcome to the Sons of Liberty. You have with yours truly, Mr. Bradley Dean. Just think about this. They take the lowest form that they can possibly find. Let me say it this way. They shoot for the floor, and then they use the floor and the lowest form, the depraved, those that are completely demoralized in every sense of the word. Completely backwards, inverted out. And then what they do is they put them up as the standard. Isn't that crazy? You know what Kamala Harris is and Donald Trump is, friends? That is a reflection of the ignorance of the American people. That's exact, because there's absolutely no difference. Both pushing the same agenda. Hey, folks, you know what they're doing is they're using what they call the left as the standard rather than the right. Has anybody paid attention to this? I mean, why isn't Christ the standard? Why isn't the right, his law, the standard? Exodus 20. No, it's never the right that's the standard. It's always what they call the left, the demoralized, right? The useful idiots. These puppets that have strings all over them. They're always the ones that are used as the standard. Why? Because the left is what they use as a sliding scale. So the American people and people on a worldwide basis say, well, at least our candidate's not that bad. Isn't that right? That's exactly right. I mean, folks, here, I got video right here just to show you how demoralized the American people have become to tolerate the likes of what it is that they're proposing as a presidential candidate in the United States of America. I'm just going to show you how they have taken the reprobates, those that are abandoned to their sin, okay? And I'm thinking of 1 Kings 13:33, how they're using these reprobates, the lower sort, the baser sort, as the standard. That is Kamala Harris. Like Donald Trump, let me ask you the question, what has she done throughout her life to be accredited and qualified to run for the presidency of the United States of America? What, that she's whored herself out, literally, in a physical sense? That's exactly what she's done. I mean, folks, she first came on the scene with Montel Williams as a woman, a sleazy whore. I'm using scriptural words here, a whore on his arm. And then another whore on his nether arm. And then yesterday, I'd highlighted the fact that, how do you know of a Kamala Harris, friends? Well, wasn't she the one that was cheating on the mayor from San Francisco? Willie cheating on Willie's wife, and then she remained to stay with him in spite of the fact that he was in known adultery? I mean, this is what they're putting up as options. Hey, folks, you ever wonder why they put up rap music back in the 80s? In the 90s, the late 90s? And man, I'll tell you what, in the 70s and the 80s, if you'd have listened to rap, you'd have got beat up. It's almost funny when you see white boys going down the street today in the hood, listening to rap music. But look at they're putting on the national platform. Again, this is a reflection of the American people. Here, let me say this, folks. Of the lesser of two evils, choose neither. But which one should you choose concerning the two that are good? Both. But isn't it interesting you're not giving the options as both of the good options? No, they're not giving to you. I was talking to somebody earlier, and I was talking to them about what was going on. They asked me, what are your thoughts about what's going on? I said, guys, I live this. I breathe this. I'm tired of this. But I said, what they're doing to the American people is what communists do to kids in public schools, and it's what's happening in America today. What is that? Well, they teach them in a communistic fashion. What do? They tell them to go ahead and answer the question. They give them three options with the question proposed. But the three options, or the two options that are given as answers that are proposed, neither one of them, or not a one of the three, are the options that are actual answers to the question. And it's exactly where the American people are caught up today. I want to show you something. This is Kamala Harris's fleece to the young people. Look what she is using here, friends. This is craziness.
On Tuesday, Kamala Harris would host a rally in Atlanta as part of her political campaign to energize voters in Georgia. She was joined by Atlanta rapper Quavo and Megan Thee Stallion, which earned criticism from many people online. Some saw Harris's attempt to reach the youth as cringy and not genuine, while others thought her efforts at getting younger generations to vote were a necessary tactic. Today we have our very own comedy hype analysts, Marvin Hunter and Steve Brown, on the show to talk about the rally and all the backlash that it's received. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Look at this, folks. This is how they're making appeal to the young people. Some dancer with the wig on, literally shaking her backside. This is how desensitized the American people have become, how demoralized the American people have become. This is what they use. This is their appeal. But they're twerking. They're twerking for the kids. I mean, really? Look what they're selling to the people as the vice president option. This is Tim Walz. Look what he's standing behind, a man dressed as a woman as a said representative. He was key in getting Walz to install tampon dispensers in boys' bathrooms in Minnesota schools. Okay, this is Tim Walz. Okay, I want you got to get this in you before I play the next video. Governor Tim Walz, no right to free speech if government decides it's misinformation or hateful. Tim Walz can go ahead and talk all the rhetoric he wants to. This boy over here is not shutting his mouth. I can tell you that right now. I am going to fight for my God-given rights, and I'm not going to forfeit them because he has no lawful standing whatsoever even to make a statement like that. But I'm telling you right now, folks, that Tim Walz is a dangerous human being. This is his wife. This is goofy stuff. These are the picks that they're putting up as the left. The left is a sliding scale for the right to become what the left is rather than the left becoming what the right is. Because again, if the right was doing the right thing all the time, there wouldn't be a left. Look at this. NFL star Adam Thielen's wife trashes Tim Walz. He has run Minneapolis into the ground. He has, because the people in Minnesota have allowed him to do it.